would ask you, do you do this often? Try to meet the old subjects of your pictures?
No.
No, really?
No, this was a big, rare occurrence to be able to come back here after 30 years and meet the whole family who I had spent 2 or 3 weeks with.
So it was a surprise also for you?
Yeah, it was amazing. They look almost exactly the same.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Okay, and the other questions will be more like fun subjected. For example, you travel a lot and you visit a lot of new countries and new cultures. How do you prepare for a trip like that?
Well, it's always good before you go on a trip to someplace to do some research, try and understand what's, some preparation on the internet, maybe read some books, talk to some people, try and get some advanced knowledge before you get there.
And when you go there, you have someone to lead you around, or you just go ahead and try to find your way?
Yeah, no, I always have a good local assistant or translator to help.
And like when you go around and try to work, you prefer to be a silent observer, or you prefer to interact with your
Well, it depends on my mood, depends on the situation. Sometimes you want to interact with people and people you meet on the street. Sometimes you want to be more of a silent observer. You want to be kind of a fly on the wall. It just depends on the situation, what your objective is. Sometimes you just want to observe and try and be invisible.
And which one is more effective?
Either way is effective. It just depends on the situation. I mean, it's hard to generalize.
Well, and do you ever feel like you want to go back to recreate a certain scene because you checked the picture and you imagined it in a different way?
Not so much. I usually once I have been in a place, photographed it, I generally move on. I don't generally go back and continue that work. I usually look for something new.
And I think we are curious about your opinion. What do you think about retouching the pictures?
Well, photography, I think my feeling about retouching is what we do is what we've always done, especially in the darkroom, where you try and find the best solution to emphasize certain areas of the picture that need to be brightened or darkened.
So you think that darkening is okay?
Well, this has been going on since the beginning of photography. This is nothing new. I was working in the darkroom, doing this in 1972. So this is the way, photographers work. It's nothing new.
So you're in Hungary and you have already worked here. And what's the first thing that comes into your mind about Hungarian photography?
Well, Hungary has an incredible tradition of great photography. So many wonderful, talented photographers came out of Hungary. Some of the most famous photographers in the world are from here. So there's a great tradition of arts and photography. And
have you got any favorite ones?
Oh yeah, Andrei Kertész, I think, is one of my great favorite photographers. Robert Capa was a great photographer. His brother, Cornel Capa, was a great photographer.
Coming to Capa, you also photograph the areas that are in war. Do you ever feel like you're in danger? I mean, sure, you do feel that sometimes, but do you face it or prefer to be safe?
Well, it depends. I mean, I haven't really worked in an area of conflict for many years, but I think sometimes you have to take risks. Sometimes you have to take calculated risks and hope for the best.
And do you have any memories of some like you had any, like when you felt in danger in the past, maybe? Or
many times, hundreds of times, when you felt, you know, I mean, this was when you're working in a war zone or an area of conflict, every day you're faced with dangerous situations, and so you'd have to try and
the language difference, is that a big problem? Because I suppose when you make pictures of people, you try to assure them that you are not, especially nowadays that almost everyone makes pictures, they are being less confident maybe. And is the language barrier a big problem? Or?
No, I always travel with a translator or an interpreter, somebody who can speak to people, and so I always explain what I'm doing, and so yeah, no, I never had that problem. I mean, if people don't want to be photographed, I'm more than happy to respect that. You know.
Yeah, sure.